Don't stay awake for too long. Don't go to bed. I'll make a cup of coffee for your head. I'll get you up and going out of bed.
Yeah, I don't wanna fall asleep, I don't wanna pass away. I've been thinking of our future cause I'll never see those days. I don't know why this has happened, but I probably deserve it. I tried to do my best, but you know that I'm not perfect. I've been praying for forgiveness, you've been praying for my health. When I leave this earth, hoping you'll find someone else. Cause yeah, we still young, there's so much we haven't done.
All right, we got to slow it down a little bit, guys. So thank you so much for joining the show. Appreciate you all for joining in. Such a wonderful evening, such a wonderful day of live streaming, guys. There was so much going on. So if you're checking us out, guys, please do us a favor. If you're following us on Twitch, thank you so much, guys. You can check us out over there at www.twitch.tv/MFSB Live. Appreciate you if you're checking us out on Twitch, man. You guys rock over there. You guys were killing it earlier on Nick's live stream over there. So it was incredible to see that taken off. So, and of course, guys, we're streaming live on, all our other platforms. You can check us out on our YouTube page there at www.youtube.com/C/made from scratch broadcast. Do us a favor if you're checking us out on YouTube, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the notification bell. It'll let you know whenever we schedule new lives, whenever we are live, or whenever we drop new video content on the channel. So if you're checking us out there, thank you so much. And we're streaming live, of course, on our Facebook page. And you can check us out there at MFSB Live as well. Hit the like button there. It'll give you the option to get notifications. And you'll see us there live on Facebook. And, of course, we're streaming live on our favorite platform, LinkedIn. So, guys, let's go ahead and get the main event going when I bring these two people in here. Been connected with them for a while, but now I get the honor of getting them, have them on the show for an interview. So, guys, first, please help me welcome to the show. He is the founder of NoDegree. He has the NoDegree podcast. Man, if you have not followed Jonaed before, he's done also the Linked Insomnia, which was pretty cool as well. I remember watching those back in the day when, well, not far back in the day, but watching them back in the day when him and Christopher and Matthew and Togar were on there. Those were always cool to watch. Always thought that was the fun stuff to do, to be a part of it. So it's an honor to have him here. So guys, welcome to the show, Jonaed Iqbal. How are you doing, my friend?
Hey, what's up, man? What's up? I'm actually looking for your live, so I'm watching it on Twitch, and I'm trying to get, watch it on LinkedIn. I'm trying to be a bot and get you multiple views and stuff.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, man. So if you're checking us out there, the chat room can go pretty crazy, but that's okay. That's what we love. So everybody that's in there, I can already see that Nick Lozano's there. Gosh, everybody's already in the room there. So Jonaed's in the room there as well. So let's get our next guest on. And she's been one of those people I've been connected with as well. And she's been, she's been killing it lately. She's on a tour, sort of doing a bunch of live streams. So she's been hopping on live. So if you've seen her, she's probably no stranger to you now. So help me welcome to the show, guys. Artist, event extraordinaire, Kelsey Lips. How are you doing, Kelsey?
Hey.
So I am doing wonderful. So I actually went back and saw a lot of the streams you were on. So yes, guys, if you don't see the shirt she's got on, let's give a shout out to Nick Lozano for, first of all, putting that together, right?
Yeah, I gotta buy that hoodie, man.
That actually manifested.
Wearing the same sweatshirt.
What's funny? Kelsey and I were talking, and I was like, yo, I want to buy the hoodie. But then it's a hoodie of myself. Like, You know what I mean? That's like putting a picture of yourself with a quote on LinkedIn almost. Also,
Pretty close.
I didn't know. I was like, well, what do I do? Like, then I gotta explain the story. But you know what? I'll do it.
Right?
I'll do it. I gotta get it. It's a good story.
It is a good story, and the whole thing about that kind of started that was we were doing a banana eating contest, right? With Travis and them on the Luke John experience, and Jonaed took it a different level, man. So we were all eating bananas. He brought grapes to the game, right? And that kind of changed the landscape of how we looked at it. So that was fun. That was a fun night, and it actually turned into something. Now it's actually a shirt. So
Yeah.
there's always a memory now of Jonaed being the grape.
There's actually like a whole merchandise line that Nick created. It's not just a shirt. There's a couple of different kinds of styles of shirt. I know that there's some PPE masks.
Ooh, oh yeah, Nick. I remember Nick having one on in the live.
We did have one on in the live last Friday, I believe that was.
Now I gotta get some stuff. I want to get. I've always wanted to get a t-shirt printer, and not necessarily because I wanted like a t-shirt business, but more just like, look, I wanted to produce a shirt at cost, and for people who were like cool with me, I'd be like, yo, you just paid like the shipping and stuff. So, because once you get rid of the profits and stuff, it's not that much. It's like $4, $4 or $5 to produce a t-shirt. So next year, I definitely want to get a t-shirt printer. That's one on my goal.
Ooh, yeah, I mean, and you did break out the NoDegree hats as well.
Oh,
I gotta send you one of those.
So he has those guys as well. I don't know if you have a shop store somewhere, but you should set one up.
It's one of those things that so much to do, right? I got all these ideas, all these things, and I want to do. So yeah, I definitely want to do that.
So on top of what you already have doing in your business world, then you want to complicate it more by doing other stuff on the side. I feel you, man. That's it takes on a lot to do that. So
yeah.
Well, one of the cool things, like I said, when I first started this interview was how you guys used to do the LinkedIn Insomnia podcast.
Yeah.
That's where I first came from, very familiar with you, and I had just started live streaming, and
yeah,
I remember because I would finish late, like around my time, around 8:15, 8:30.
Yeah.
And then I would be looking for something to do. I'm like, I don't want to go to bed, and whatever. And I would hop on, and I would see you guys on there, and I would go, oh wow, there's more people out there who are doing these really late streams. So I started watching, and man, it was I got hooked instantly, man. And
I appreciate that.
And that's where I like really connected with afterwards with Matt. Matthew Perkins, if you don't know, guys, he's a really cool dude, and I had reached out to him, and he was it was one of those things where he was like, yeah, he was telling me about you, and because I was asking about, I really didn't know you at that point.
Yeah.
So I was just inquiring, and then other people would start telling me other things. Hey, you need to connect with Jonaed. He does all these other cool things, and I was like, okay, cool. So I connected after a while, and we kind of messaged back and forth a little bit, like, hey man, we really need to get together and do this. So we actually finally had the chance, and then we brought Kelsey into the mix because, again, she's how did you guys hook up together? I wanted to get in that as well, how you guys have started doing what you were doing, because again, I would notice Kelsey a lot in your live streams, her and Charlie, and I would just start seeing people chat, and I would go, oh man, it's really cool to be a part of this little group, to see everybody just in there being open and connecting and having so much fun.
Yeah, honestly, the best friends I've ever made, the best connections I've ever made, purely through the live stream. Shout out to Teresa. I know she commented. Everybody is like, I find that like the live streaming community on LinkedIn is pretty positive. I know like some areas can get pretty toxic, not LinkedIn itself, but I know some areas, like once you get a lot, it's a little toxic, but LinkedIn has a very positive live stream community. So that's where I really, that's where sort of Matt and I connected. Same thing. That's where Matt and I connected. That's where Kelsey, she was in the comments. That's where Charlie. That's where I met Charlie. That's where I met, and then because the thing is in the live stream, one thing I like live stream over edited videos, and you see a lot of like big creators, their live stream presence is underwhelming, in my opinion, because in edited video, you can be whoever you want to be, right? You can chop up, you can be whoever you want to be, but in live stream, it's like it's raw. Like people watch live stream for the raw content, for the raw person, and I think that's why a lot of people I think were drawn to like my live stream, because it's like in my posts I'm exactly who I am in my posts.
Yep.
What you see is what you get. I'm very upfront. I'm the same guy, and I think that's what like really helped me connect, because that's why the connection stayed. Right? It's like how long? You know what? I'm gonna check how long we've been connected, because it's definitely been some time, Gabriel.
Oh yeah, it's been almost, well, I think I connected with you back in like December of last year.
Yeah, and that's sort of when I started in September, but I did it through December. I did one today. I've really slowed down just because it's like it's just tough, just try to manage everything.
It is, and it can be overwhelming. I mean, even like I want to ask Kelsey about this because she's been hopping on a bunch of live late. Okay, now look at the comment there. Do you believe that?
Yeah, Eddie Murphy of live. I still got time to go.
There you go. But sorry to interrupt you, Kelsey, but I wanted to get your opinion about this because you've been doing this now. This is what, day number 4?
It is, yeah.
Of hopping on lives, and you got another live event tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, I go through to Thursday, and actually Jonaed will be having me on his live LinkedIn Insomnia on Monday.
Yeah, I think that's in my calendar. It should be.
It should be.
No, let me tell you.
Confident. It is.
No, you know what? I'm a very day of person. It is there. I wrote Kelsey live.
Okay.
I know you did.
I'm a day. I live and die by my calendar. But yeah, sorry to interrupt you, Kelsey.
No, you're fine. It's totally fine. No, it's been definitely crazy, but I just love the interaction with the audience and being able to jump on with a bunch of people, bunch of hosts that I know. It really makes it a lot more comfortable. And I've also made sure that I took a shot of vodka before each show. So just to kind of calm my nerves a little bit. Yeah, no, it's been real interesting. A lot of fun. I've made a lot of good connections through it too. Just, new people that seem to be, real enthusiastic about what I'm trying to do on LinkedIn. Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun, and being able to like what we're doing here is finally be able to like talk to you live. I've talked to Jonaed 80 million times, but it's nice to like, to really be able to connect live with my other connections that I've been, we've been connected for a while, and, we're in a group together and all that fun stuff. So it's a weird and nice experience. It's a little exhausting though. My voice, if you can't tell.
Oh yeah.
So close to dying.
Well, I got to say this, I got to applaud you for doing that, because that's not the easiest thing to do. First of all, to say, you know what, I'm just going to schedule all these lives and start doing them. That's a lot of commitment. I know I do it 5 nights a week. So it's not the easiest thing to say, I'm going to go here, I'm going to jump on here. Especially with, it's something that you aren't too familiar with. You just threw your feet into it and jumped head first into the water and said, I'm going to do it. Screw it. So what was the whole thing behind that? What was the kind of thing that drove you to say, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to do all these. I'm just going to start doing it, put myself out there, see what happens. So I kind of want to know why that was, because again, it's not the easiest thing to do. And I don't see people all the time saying, I'm going to just hop on a live with somebody.
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple of different reasons. Really, I wanted to get a little bit more familiar with doing something like this, and get myself out there too, so that people can see that, a little bit about who I am for real, you know, who I am in real life. You know, there's a couple reasons for that too, but some people think I'm a robot, but now there's no way. I exist. I swear I exist. And yes, Lips is my last name. So yeah, I don't know. A couple of factors in there make it seem like I'm not real, but I just really want to be able to get my message out and like I said, connect with people on a different level, you know, because words are words. And I've never done, you know, that's another thing. I've never done a LinkedIn video yet.
Oh,
Like, not at all. Not once. So yeah, that's.
well, I got to tell you this. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Number one, she's real, guys, just like you see.
Very real.
There's very real. There's one other person that people don't believe is real, and that's Kenneth Dunner Jr.
He's real. I was on a Zoom call with him.
Exactly right. I tell people he's real, but I've had other people say, no way. There's nobody that can jump from stream to stream like that. And I've actually seen him streaming in 2 different streams with me commenting on each stream at the same time, and I'm going, okay, he's got some kind of stuff. He's got to have something, man. To either
He got big heart. That's what he got.
Well, he's got heart, so I call him the unicorn. So I'm trying to see whoever can get him on the live. I mean,
that would be nice.
I will bow down to that person. So I've been pushing to get him on mine, just so I can say. I mean, it would even be better if I could have him and Kelsey on the same show. That would be like squash everything.
I would love that. He is one of my favoriteest people on LinkedIn.
So yeah, that's the only thing I haven't done though is seeing him in the comments yet. So maybe he's
probably exhausted. It's been a long day.
Well, he was commenting a lot in Travis's stream and in Nick's stream earlier. So
man. I was on all of those, so it was crazy.
Hold up. This is for Travis because he mentioned quad monitor, so I really gotta show him. This is my setup.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah. So I got that. I got quad monitor, so shout out to Travis. You gotta. So now look, Travis is my inspiration for how I want my live room to look. Like I gotta start slowly putting the things up there. I gotta get the lights and all that. It's so nice.
Doesn't it make you feel like shit, man? I gotta step my game up.
Yeah, I mean, look, when I was on your live, I was like, damn, this guy got a countdown. He got like music. He got like lights and everything. I was like, I don't got none of that. I just click live and say, oh, we're live.
We're live. Here we go. Right? No, but I got to tell you what, you're where a lot of your stronger presence is that I've noticed, and when I watch you live, is the content, because it really is really focused content. Yeah, you joke around sometimes, but for the most part, though, you go there with a message with intention that you're really putting out there for somebody who's listening to go, hey, this guy's actually giving real value on his live stream. So that's why, like, I was kind of drawn in, because I'm not just all about watching live streams to watch them.
Yeah.
I also go there to see what somebody has to say and what they have to share. It's pretty vital if you're going to have continued people coming back to want to watch you for a reason.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, you know, some lives are like about daily life and stuff. I personally probably wouldn't ever go that route, regardless of how big I became. Just because it's like, I care more about what would I have wanted, right? What are things I've learned? What are mistakes I've made? And I think that's where a lot of people come, especially for the LinkedIn audience. I think I may, like on Twitch, man, I may start playing some games, man, because I got the Twitch account and all that. So maybe, I don't know. Yeah,
that's a whole nother thing to get into, is the Twitch stream. I'm starting to like Twitch a lot, so I got to give. Well, I was streaming already to it, but I got to give Nick a lot of props, because he was the one that kind of like, hey, there's a lot of potential here, man, in doing these Twitch streams and just seeing like what he does. So I still have to go set up where I can let my emotes go across my wall. I still haven't set that up.
Yeah.
If you were watching Nick's stream earlier, it was like the whole fucking screen was just nothing but.
Dude, I got a capture card and stuff. I got like a capture card for like specific, so I could even like do like I gotta figure it out. And you know what? I kind of wanted it as just so I can play some games, because dude, I got like so many games I haven't played and stuff. And it's like, look, if I could play and grow slight Twitch audience, that'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And but again, like I said, it's a really great platform. So that's why we've been like in the whole thing of trying to push people to go see what it is. So you can, yeah, even that there's where did he put it in there? It's in the Twitch chat. It's not in here. Fucking StreamYard. It's going slower than usual.
Yeah.
Because I saw that they were what they were doing the other night to poor Joel. Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. When I was on Joel's show, I told him, I was like, we're gonna break the comments, watch. And like he started like trying to respond, and he just like a deer in headlights, like the look of anxiety on his face. He was like, Kelsey, I can't do this. And I was like, yeah, dude, good luck. That's the Vipers. Like, have fun, man.
Have fun, bro. I mean, it comes in, and you gotta. Here's the thing: you gotta scroll fast enough and go, "Hey, I can put it on the screen. Let people pull it." I mean, I've been doing enough of these, but when I was watching him, he looked like he had this real big panic look in his eyes, and I was going,
it was so funny.
It was like, holy shit.
He was like, Kelsey, quit encouraging this. I was like, no, man, like this is amazing. This is gonna be so much fun.
Because it goes so fast. But Nick was just hollering at you, say, hey, if you need help with it, he'd love to help you get your Twitch running.
Out. Yeah, no. It's one of those things. I think Twitch has a slightly different, like, I don't know. I feel like StreamYard to Twitch is just not the same. I feel like you don't get as many people picking up the stream. It's so weird.
It is. It's because there's limitations though with streaming, and I know because I went and did my first OBS stream straight to Twitch.
Yeah.
And on last Sunday, and it was you can tell the difference. It's a lot funner, and there's a lot more in it than just doing it.
You get more random viewers picking it up.
Well, the whole thing is that like I didn't announce it or nothing, but when I got on there though, like Nick and all of them just started hopping on there really quickly, faster than I would if I would have just hopped on StreamYard and went through a third-party service.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I gotta try because I did stream. I actually originally started streaming on Twitch, and dude,
why did you quit?
No, I only did like you know what happened? Then I was just like, I found LinkedIn, so I streamed. And look, it's not that LinkedIn had live streaming. LinkedIn did not have live streaming. It was just look as a small person. I'm still small, but just bigger than I was before, but still small, right? So it was more about, look, I only got limited time. I got to figure out, like, because Twitch game, it does take some time, right? And then, it does take time to even getting to 10, 20 viewers, right? It takes a good amount of time. And it was me talking to the screen, and my nephew was there, and it was, man, funny because he's like 10 years old, and I was doing like career advice, and he asked me like resume questions. I was like, and it was funny because he was pretending, and he was asking like, hey, what should I do for my resume? And I have to answer it as if I think it's someone random, but it's my nephew. But it's definitely tough. And LinkedIn, it was just more like the organic reach was there. I mean, it still is there, but in terms of content and my audience, in terms of connecting, and it worked out in hindsight. And now it's like, as I get more resources, I want to like, as I get more help and stuff, I'm going to really start going in on other platforms. But I think YouTube, I'm definitely going to focus a little more on YouTube for 2021.
It's great, man. That's why from the get-go, I just said, you know what, I have zero following on everything. So I just started streaming everywhere and putting everything together at the same time. So I kind of, that way you kind of build a momentum going into it. So, but I mean, there's no right or wrong way to build your presence on YouTube or Twitch or anywhere else. It's just like you said, it's just when you get the chance.
Like why I didn't go down that route is because like personally for me, like one of the mistakes I sort of made as like an entrepreneur is like spreading myself too thin.
Yeah.
And then I found that like, look, I know Facebook has its own algorithm. This has its own algorithm. Like I know a decent amount about different things, but it's hard to put good effort into everything. Whereas once you like master one and you get good on one, you end up getting more resources in terms of money, whatever, help and all that. And then it's easier to pour the resources into other platforms, right? That's kind of the route I went. Like each has its own pros and cons, right? Now it's like you're going to grow that way, but now it's easier for me to hop on another platform and let people know, because then some people from the first platform are on Twitch, right? Because you got some people from LinkedIn who are just like, look, I'd rather watch you on Twitch, and it's a lot easier. So that was kind of my strategy.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, it's a different approach to how you do the same thing. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's just how much you put into it, right? That's the
Yeah,
only
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So
That's what's important.
I wanted to talk too about Kelsey and the whole thing about doing not only events but spotlighting artists. I love the creative types, um, and I love that you put out there. You've been sharing your art. You do this out there, and you also lift up other artists as well and kind of spotlight them. So, what was the emphasis for you when you first started doing that? I mean, because it's I have a heart for somebody who really wants to go out there and help another starving artist get discovered and find talent that way. I mean, it's just a really great way to kind of build community. So, what was that for you? Because you've put on art shows before, and I believe you're doing another one, correct?
Yes, yeah. Um, so, like you just said, starving artists, like that's kind of the point right there, is they're extremely underrated. And especially on LinkedIn, when I first started, there was nothing given to artists. They didn't get, any kind of praise for the work they were doing. They were kind of, I've heard a couple of people be like, oh, this is not the platform for art. There's other platforms for that. And it's like, art is just as much business as anything else is. It's in your business, it's everywhere. And just kind of seeing that wasn't really noticed by people, and knowing how many hours and like how much hard work and dedication and passion goes into creating a piece. I just thought that those people needed to be lifted up, and how could I do that? So I started with featured artist Fridays, and I would find a real talented artist on LinkedIn, and I would reach out to them and say, I'd love to feature you and get your work out there. They're not getting much traction and everything, and use my own network, my own numbers, my own engagement to lift them up and get people to check out their YouTube channels and go buy their work from their websites. And so I would post about other artists. And then Jonaed actually blessed me with a platform that I could start performing virtual art exhibits. And so I've started doing that, and I have one, coming up on December 31st.
Ooh, so and again, you guys do it a little bit differently, which is what I like, because you guys. Well, I think the last one you did it what, through Remo?
Yeah, we use Remo.
Yeah.
And if you guys are unfamiliar with that, kind of explain out what it is, because it is really cool. For those who haven't interacted with it before, because there's some people who are still very unfamiliar with it, and I think it's really interactive to be inside of one of those rooms. I mean, I went and watched one of the comedy rooms in there, and that was kind of cool that you guys had put on. Those are fun. That's absolute fun.
The comedy event was amazing. I'll let Jonaed explain how that all works, because he's better at it than me.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically like there are tables. So let's say there are 15 tables, and each table is its own video call, and you can have a limit of, depends, 6 to 8 people per table. Because one of the things about like people are like zoomed out and like networking online, like it's hard to have a Zoom call with more than 10 people, right? What ends up happening is a couple of personalities really dominate, or the people who have the questions. Some people sort of like staying back, or there's 1 or 2 people you really want to talk to, and then you got to follow up after with the Zoom call and all that stuff. So that's what ends up being, Zoom is good if you want to have a webinar to like whatever, 5,000 people, right? You go with Zoom. Now for this one, it allows you to sort of have that networking. And then one of like Chris, he designs the actual layouts and stuff. So then you get the feel. So the comedy, like we could do for Halloween, we do stuff for Christmas, and he has one for Kelsey's art exhibit. So that feel, actually, you feel different, right? Like visuals make a big difference in how you perceive things. So that's kind of how he did it. And we started that business in March, and Kelsey is one of our best employees, and it just ended up growing, right? And then now we do all types of events for companies, and it's cool. Like we got a lot of ideas for different things.
And yeah, like I said, that it's for those who've never interacted with one of those. I tell you to at least go try it out, go check it out, because again, it's completely different, like you said, and it feels like you're in I don't know, like almost in a virtual conference.
Yeah. A nice virtual conference, not
And
text.
a nice
Like actual, yeah.
and like even the Halloween thing that you guys did,
Yeah.
that was pretty legit, man. To go in there and you feel like you're actually just hanging out with a whole bunch of different people. So I like that you guys had put that together. And
So shout out to your crew. We're gonna have a small Christmas party with like a magician and stuff. So anybody in your crew is invited.
oh, there you go, guys.
I forgot the date. I think it's like the 23rd, but this is like a Christmas party. We pay, so you guys can come for free, friends and family type thing.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's awesome though. That's guys, you got a live invite. So, Vipers, you guys, you know what you got to do. You got to get the invite. It's going to be fun. So one more thing that I want to talk about, because I had this question and I wanted to ask Kelsey. It's about the hair. What color is it? I mean, I know it's red, but there's like a specific.
I think it's the camera and with the light, but this is a better camera because actually my hair used to look orange. It's supposed to be fire engine red. It looks more like it does in my profile picture and like the picture that you had up of me earlier. Yes. It's more of that fire engine red. I don't know why it's picking up these colors today, but yeah, no, I always put a little bit of red in my hair for a long time. And when I wasn't able to work at my other job anymore, and that's when Jonaed hired me, I was able to go just completely red finally because I couldn't do that at my other job. And I think I'm keeping it. Yeah.
Oh, well, I like that. So were there other options before you went with the fire engine red?
I think the red looks the best on me. Honestly, I've done my hair all sorts of different colors, but I like the red the best. Yeah.
It does stick out, and I guess that's kind of the point.
Yeah. And I wear red lipstick a lot, so it helps with branding and helps people, fish me out in a sea full of faces.
It does.
I was actually nominated today on Rebecca Pay's post for having the best hair on LinkedIn. I was nominated twice, and apparently I'm in competition with Jonathan Palmer because he was nominated. He was nominated by somebody else, said that Jonathan Palmer has the best hair on LinkedIn.
That's a farce. How's that even comparative?
Yeah, it got to be you or Marisa.
Yeah, Marisa.
Cameras can't capture your color, so it's like that's a different level.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's because he's got like the Fabio vibe going on.
Oh, come on. That yeah, whatever. That's
he doesn't have the Vipers behind him.
He's a throwaway. The other day, I think Adam got this wrong. The other day when he was talking about coattail potting, I think it's the way around. I think he rides Luke's coattails, not so much Jonathan's. So yeah, I'm putting it out there.
Luke is a cool dude, man. I like really respect him. He's a genuine dude, man. He's just a supporter. I've been connected to him for a while, and I like him.
Well, again, I had him on last Friday. Man, it is like it's surreal how humble he is as a person.
Yeah, he's very humble.
And that's one of the cool things that we kind of talked about in the whole conversation was that you get somebody on, you see somebody on social media, you connect with them, you start talking with them, but you never like when you get the opportunity to do what I'm doing here, you kind of get to pull back the curtain a little bit on somebody and hear their story and kind of get a different vibe and feel from them. So whenever we were having that conversation, man, you could just tell how genuine he was, like talking about his life story and everything else. So, I was Enrique. Come on, buddy.
Enrique's a funny dude, man.
He is something else, bro. There's like you don't have to do very much to get him lit, but when he goes lit, baby,
watch out.
Watch out, because he goes whole nother level. So yeah, it was a joke, but yes, Adam, we know Adam.
Who tagged Adam Posner? Did he hear the word pod?
He heard the word pod.
Oh my goodness.
That's
JP
So,
is fake news.
yeah. JP, who put that up there?
Adi. Yo,
Audie
Adi is
did.
a nice kid,
Oh,
man. He's a
Adi.
nice
Oh,
kid.
yes, I just connected with him. He's actually, man, yeah.
He's cool.
But that's the whole thing about it, man. You start getting connected with a lot of these people, and when you get the opportunity
Tiffany's
to
cool too.
oh yeah, she's again, she's becoming one of my favorite people because we were just joking the other day because I was supposed to go on. I got to do it again. I'm going to apologize. I was supposed to go on live with Reggie Waterman the other night. I fucked up the time schedule.
Damn, that happens.
It happens, right? And especially when I was like, hey, we went in, even did a sound check. We went in there, we did a sound check. I was like, okay, cool, we'll be back at this time, right? And I was like, yeah, cool, I'll be back, right? And then I go to there to go get on the stream. I said, cool, 10 minutes before I'll hop on, we'll be ready to go. I saw that it was already over, and I go, what the fuck just happened? And
Damn, that happens.
It happens, man. So I had to send a big apology to Reggie Waterman. So but I was supposed to be on. Yeah, I know, and I hate doing that. That there's a lot of work that goes in these things, man. So it sucks when something like that happens. It's life, but yeah, I was so excited too. And we did and Tiffany was there. We were doing our check, and we were just having shits and giggles, man. So, oh well, that's life, though. But you know, one more thing I wanted to start talking to you about, Jonaed, because you're going to be going into, and when we had you on the roundtable, that was kind of one of the things we were talking about was going into the new year. There's a lot of things you're going to be changing as far as like scaling with your business and doing all these things that you want to start doing in 2021. So have you started seeing a kind of like a shift for yourself as far as like how clients are reaching out to you, or how are you going out there and looking to help grow what you already do? Having like as far as like delegating work and doing all these other things, because again, it's a lot to be doing with what you do. I'm pretty sure you get a shitload of people who reach out to you.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, I've been publishing a lot of content on my website just around different topics. Because people, this is the thing, man. I get a lot of people who are like, "Yo, can you help me find a job?" And now I kind of have like, what I kind of do is I'll point them to an article or podcast episode. It's not because I don't want to take out time, but I don't like actually taking the time out right away. I like giving them something, because look, you're gonna talk to me for 10, 20 minutes. This has the info, and I created it, so now I can share this 10, 20, 100 times, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, if you're not gonna read that article, then if I spent that time with you, you're just gonna want me to do the work for you. Like, you know, unfortunately, I had someone yesterday who messaged me, or today, and I was like, look, show me your resume. I say, hey, look, this is the mistake you made. And then what happens is they argue back like, well, in this is how it is over here. I was like, well, why do you come here and ask me for advice? You know, I'm from a different country and I know what I'm saying is right. And then I say, okay, you got to Google this. And they're like, oh, thank you for no help, just like everyone else. And it's like, I'm glad I didn't take the time out of my day, because that's what happened. So it's like, I try, you know, same thing. You create a lot of free content. You have limited time, right? And it's like, you do these things. So it's like, you could watch an episode again. You can do all these things again. So a lot of that is, I'm going to focus a lot more on creating a lot of different content, a lot of written content, you know, just episodes, and really just getting more help, investing more into services and all that. But content is really what I'm going to be focused a lot more on. And I want to start connecting with companies to start, you know, placing people directly at companies, because there's decent money in that. And again, that money is just going to go so I can have a room like Travis. That's my goal 2021. I got to get enough money, have a room like Travis.
Right, Travis. See, look, your game is, you're the one we're chasing, man. So that's a good thing, bro. Travis, I like that. Some
kick at. But yeah.
So I even like the comment in my web. It says, in my MySpace days, they were literally called whore trains. So they're talking about pods.
Yeah. No, they've always existed. I mean, it existed on Instagram, but yeah, I mean, it's like 2021. It's like but the other thing is, as I grow and scale, I don't want to lose this, where it's like, hey, you invite me to a live and I'm like, nah, I'm booked for 3 months. So I want to find the right balance where it's like, I could scale and delegate, but I could still keep on doing the same thing. Because one of the things I actually missed as I got busier, like 2019, I had so much time for LinkedIn, right? I had so much time for live. So I want to free up some of my time so I could start doing the LinkedIn Insomnia more. I could start doing that stuff more.
Yeah, because again, I think that's again, you get a lot more eyes, you get a lot more people who want to reach out and see you and go, wow, he's got a really great authority on what he's talking about. I mean, that's why I said you're creating the content there, and you can kind of just get to the point where you can funnel people like, dude, I've answered the question this many times on a live, or if I've done video content where I've created where there's an answer to your question. Just check out the video. You've gone through the whole process, then contact me. We'll have a conversation. I mean,
Yeah.
That's the least somebody can do, asking for a small amount of your time, is to say, you know, I already checked out some of your podcasts. I have questions for you with my resume and all these other things, and I've heard a lot of the tips you gave. What do you think about this? I think that would be better. No,
Yeah,
when you want to,
so much better.
you would be more open to helping somebody if they actually
100%. Look,
took
I'm gonna
the time.
tell you, I give this formula out on every live I do. You don't have to do much to get on the phone with me. I just have to see a minuscule amount of effort, right? A minuscule amount, not even a crazy amount. It's not like, hey, you got to read 5 of my articles. You could tell me, hey, I listened to 1 episode of my podcast. Even if you listen to 30 seconds, you pull out 1 quote, I'll get on the phone with you if you need help. But I don't want to get on help with people who don't even want to do that 30 seconds. Right. Long, like, because look, there are people, I have people who've listened to 5 episodes of my podcast. You know, they're like a super listener. You send me a screen, like, you know, I see that a lot. I create that content for a reason. So it's like, I make it not hard for me, because look, and the other thing is, I want to make sure that if, let's say, someone in my network who I've been connected for some time, like, I don't charge the people in my network. Like, typically what I do for people in a network, I say, look, it's free. This is how much I charge. You could give whatever you want. You know, I know based on your situation. And you know what ends up happening? My network ends up paying me like the full price, which is so funny. It's like, look, I don't want you to pay. Just throw me like enough to buy a pizza, whatever, or nothing. It's okay. And then I get these other people who I don't even know, and they're like, they don't want to pay. So it's just kind of funny how this works.
I think when somebody really knows what value is, they're willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. So when you go out there and you're doing these things, and people say, wow, that's really grateful. I feel really grateful that you're helping me do this, man. You've helped me out a shit ton. I want to go ahead and, you know, help you out, whatever. Even if you're saying I just want a pizza, whatever. That's why they're more willing to do it. And where somebody else is like, man, I'm not going to put in the time and effort. I want you to do the work for me. Is what they're essentially asking.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, I always make sure that my friends and all that stuff, because look, my friends lose jobs. Like, let's say Kelsey needs hey, I really need a job. You know, XYZ. I got to make sure, like, I'm making sure that they're taken care of. And if I have to choose, you tell me, hey, I lost my job. I need another job, or I need to pick it up. I'm gonna be like, cool, let me know. Let's go spend some time. Right. I get people, my network, ask my actual friends, right? The people with my phone number and stuff. So I got to make time for them. So time helping a random person. Like, I've helped enough random people who've put no effort. Like, I've seen it so bad where I saw someone who helped someone and they were like, oh, can you also apply to jobs for me too? Like, it went that far. Like, there are people who are like, you know, it was just like, hey, I didn't know I'm supposed to apply. I thought you were going to apply for me. And it's just, and then you just get so upset, right, when that happens. So it's like, it's about finding the right balance, right? You got to spend time with your family, all that stuff. Because, you know, I volunteer as an assistant wrestling coach. That hasn't happened this year. But I want to make time for that, right? Like, there's not enough time to just help everyone out. You know, that's why I create these things. And it's like, I have no ads on my podcast, none of that stuff. So it's not even like you're getting pitched. It's just purely conversation. Same thing with you. It's like, you have so much good content. It's like, look, it's created. It costs you money and time to create it. The least they could do is like, look, go listen to it while you're cooking, right? Something like that.
Exactly, right. Take it. Yeah, just take the few. Just show, like you said, show the effort, man.
Yeah.
You're more willing to open to say somebody that has reached out to me, where I'm pretty sure you get tons of these just blind, hey, listen, I've never checked out any of your content or nothing, but I'd love to come on your show.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
I'm like, fuck off, man.
Yeah, dude. I get PhDs asking me to be on the podcast. It's like, dude, the name is XYZ. Like,
it's for a reason.
It's for a reason. And you know, the same thing with the podcast is like, especially now there's so many podcasts, you got to be specific in what you do, right? I'm not famous enough where I could just do a podcast and everyone's going to listen. I'm going to grow because I'm specific in what I do and I'm targeted, right? Like, same thing when you go podcasts that are very general on mindset, on success. Yeah, 5 years ago, you could do that and you could grow now. Now it's just like there are 50 other podcasts you can listen to. Why are they going to listen to you? So that's why it's like, I wanted to keep it specific, right?
Yeah, I was just reading Liam's comment. Thought you were going to apply for me. Is that real? Yeah, that
Those
was
are
real.
fighting words. Those are fighting, not to me, but those are fighting words, man. Those are fighting words.
There you go. So let's shift a little bit. I want to
Yeah.
get into the mind more of Kelsey sitting there. And like I talked about earlier, she does create art. So what are some of the processes that you use whenever you want to create a piece? I mean, what are some of the things that you use like to draw inspiration, or what is it that is it just something that you go, I have a feeling today I just want to do this, or is it one of those things where you kind of map out what you want to kind of create? Because I love to dig deep into the creative mind of people.
Well, I think that is kind of that it depends on the day, honestly. There can be like a certain inspiration. A lot of the times I draw on emotion and past experiences, but sometimes you just have this idea, like, this is what I want to do, and it doesn't always turn out the way you want it to, or something comes out of it that you didn't expect. It's just like any other creative processes. It just, sometimes it comes to you, sometimes you have to work really hard for it. I would say sleep deprivation and severe insomnia lend a lot to my creative side and to some of the really weird shit that I come up with. So, but like the last pieces were a little more on the tame side.
Well, I don't think that it's so much weird as this. That's the one thing about art. It's really subjective.
Yeah.
So I don't like when people put a label on art, because again, it's not it's totally in the eye of the beholder who sees something. So somebody might say, yeah, it's weird, but they'll look at what you see and they see so many different things, and they see there's emotion in there. There's so many things that are hidden undertones when creating a piece, like you said, okay, sleep deprivation, but you have certain things that you feel while you're doing this, and it's taking you down a different path. So I love the fact that that's one of the things that you at least say, I'm going to turn this into something creative, even though you're not getting all the sleep you should get, but you're using it in a way to say, you know what, that's something, because for some people it would be something that's so frustrating that they can't even operate. Some people can't function. They break down. But to actually be in a creative state to make something when you're sleep deprived, I mean, there's some kind of value, and I think it is in
well,
creating.
a lot of artists, actually, it's very much an artist's life is to be somebody who stays up late and obsesses over a piece and getting it, just how they want it and everything like that. And you will lose sleep over it because it's just stirring in your mind. Like, I have this idea, I want to, get done with it. And like I said, that's kind of with any kind of creative, some people can get real obsessed and just be like, oh, I want to do this right now. And I have to do this. I have to get this out on paper, canvas or computer or whatnot. So yeah, it definitely lends to my creativity, and
Well,
that's. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask you, do you name your pieces?
Most of the time, I like to get my connections feel on what they would name that piece, because like you were saying, we all know beauty's in the eye of the beholder. What one person thinks is, nice, somebody else may think is, absolutely hideous or whatnot. And so it's kind of nice to see other people's take on, what is this piece screaming at you? So I actually like to post and more get the audience to give me an idea of what they think. And sometimes, I'll work off of what suggestions they've given me, but sometimes I do pick my own names. So yeah, actually I would say it's probably about 50-50. Are you making a drawing for me? Oh my God.
I drew some
grapes. You forgot
some grapes.
You forgot to leave.
So
Yeah, just let you know.
So is there a favorite art form for you? And what I mean is that is it just strictly color pencils? Is it water? Because artists have different.
Oh, well, the stuff you see me do is mostly acrylic, and
Okay.
as far as the painting goes, that's all acrylic. And then I also do some sketching with just pencil, different grades of pencil. Nothing too fancy. There's a couple of things that I've started doing digitally because I'm obviously if I'm crossing.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm crossing over to that digital world. And thank you to Jonaed and everybody that's helped me cross that stream. Charlie Powers, he's in the audience right now, but yeah, I'm trying to cross over to that. So I've done a few pieces digitally, but yeah, mostly you see from me is acrylic and pencil, just simple. I honestly, I'm just here to get art into everybody's world and really support the artists out there that need it. I rarely sell my work, and not because people don't want to buy it, but just because I just don't really sell my work.
Well,
I'm just there to bring it to everybody else, and share that and have people beauty.
There's artists who created masterpieces who never sold their art until they were no longer on the earth. I mean, they held on to their works. I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of paintings and sketches and stuff like that.
It's precious. It feels like a kid. It's like that's my baby. I don't want to let that go. I spent hours on that thing, and like hard work and
So look, I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna make 2 of these. I'm gonna send it to each of you. You can sell it when I die, so you guys can make some money off of it. So
There you go, right? So, man, we're getting a lot of value here because I understand. I totally understand what you're feeling because it's the same thing with when I write. Right, there's some things that I don't want to put out in the world that I just keep for myself, and that's the whole creative process. Is that I feel like I put in so much into it, I just want to hold on to it. And there's some things that when you do let them out in the world, they're no longer yours.
Yeah,
you don't own it anymore. It's even though you created it, but once your creation is out there, it becomes for everybody to consume. So I love that you do that, Kelsey. That's very interesting.
Can I sort of talk about artists on LinkedIn?
Yes,
I think it's good. Like people say, hey, this isn't right. This isn't like personally. I think like art is definitely like we need more of that on LinkedIn, right? Because what is the world without art and joy, right? I do have some opinions about like what's appropriate for LinkedIn in the sense of, I think just think about things that are professional. Art is professional, right? It is people's livelihood. It is a part of things, right? That's what makes things fun, right? And I think it's okay. Like, what would you talk? I kind of think about what would you talk about in the office as being appropriate in LinkedIn, and even to your friends, right? You have friends in the office, right? What wouldn't you talk about in the office? Keep that stuff. That's kind of like my gauge of like what's appropriate for LinkedIn. You do talk about art. You do talk about current events. You do talk about that stuff. So it's like, look, and you're there to add value. It's like, I don't want to just see accountants selling their bookkeeping services on LinkedIn. That would I don't know. That would be terrible.
Well, here's the thing for me is like, how many office buildings have you walked in, professional buildings, and they have art in there? They have sculptures or paintings sitting in there, the center place right as you walk in. So I think it's just as vital to have that on a professional platform because people are creating these things and people want to consume them. They think it's so much that they have a feeling for it. It represents our brand or it represents these sort of things. I would love to have that included in what we do. So I don't think it's out of place at all. I think it's
not, and it is a sad thing, and that's why I'm really trying to turn that around, is because it's in everything, especially when it comes to business, like logos, the color themes, the things that are designed for you. Both of you guys you guys are wearing art. You got art in the background. I've got this beautiful piece of art that Nick and somebody else made this start off as a gift. Do you remember who it was?
I think it was Jacob that actually might have pulled that.
But that's kind of the point. And you've like made all these promotional pieces for me and the couple of lives that we've been on and stuff. And it's everywhere. And I feel like people don't realize it. They don't think of, because it is everywhere, that they've just kind of casually forgotten about it.
And it is. This is what I tell people. This is what you're watching now. This is my canvas. This is my canvas to come on here and be creative. So I think if you're taking in these lives and you're taking in the art, I think those two things go hand in hand. Not that there's nothing wrong with just doing interview content. It just fucking drives me nuts whenever I see somebody with just a plain window. It's hard for me to intake it because I'm not that kind of person. I love to see color and pizzazz and things that people kind of put out there that make you stand out. Each of us is fucking unique. Throw some of your uniqueness in what you're doing. That's all I see. That's all I want people to do. So, I mean, even Jonaed, even when you do your lives, you still have a design set up on there. You still see the NoDegree symbol. You see all the things that are going around there. There's production value in it. So it is not just something boring to look at. I just cannot stand it whenever I can see somebody just throwing in two zooms. Two people in the Zoom.
Today I didn't use any background.
Oh.
You know why? I'm experimenting. You know why? Because I wanted to see if having a logo actually restricted the reach of a live stream. So that's kind of why I was experimenting. Because
well, there is intention behind that though. That's
yeah. So that's why I did it. So I may end up going to a different one with colors and stuff, but no logos. Because I've ended up seeing that like sometimes when I have like logos and stuff, because I have like the Patreon links in there, that it does get less reach. And then when I don't have it, so I may end up doing a design that's no logo but branding colors, and kind of doing that.
There you
so
go.
I'm gonna experiment with different things.
I mean, that's why I keep it separate. So if I want to, I can just take it off the screen.
Yeah.
And if somebody wants to go pull a piece of content or something, it's more cleaner to pull, to edit, and pull together. So yeah, I like that at least you're doing it with intention. But I'm more talking.
No, I agree.
I'm just talking about more the people who aren't doing anything at all. Like they're just they just hop on a live and
it's you're gonna see. You know, it's crazy. So many people were like, "Oh, I want LinkedIn Live. Why is LinkedIn taking so long?" And then they get live and they do a few and they think like, "Oh, I'm gonna get so many viewers and I'm just gonna get so much business." It's like, look, live stream is a long game. That's not how it works. And you actually gotta show your personality, right? It's all about community, right? And if you don't understand community, you'll never do good at live streaming.
You won't. I'm sorry. You got to take into account everybody that comes along here every night, because you're asking these people to come along. They have to care about you.
Yeah.
To want to come on here and see you every single night and throw in a comment, even if it's a joke comment. Yeah. Even a troll has to have something to fucking go over there to troll about. Yeah. So if they don't care, they're gonna be like, "Fuck that live stream. I'm going to somebody else's. I'll go."
Yeah.
I'll go troll Travis, right? Because again, they want to be able to see eyes, and people have that. There's a lot of people in the comments. So if there's one person in the comment, they're like, "I ain't gonna get no fucking attention here. I'm out of here." Even trolls have to have a reason to go do these things. So yeah.
No, that's true.
When you build a community, guys, that's a good tip for you. Remember, care about the people, care about the. Yes, and Nick, that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of pointing out troll Travis. So I'm trying to build a hashtag to go troll Travis there. So it's not like he doesn't get enough attention, but I won a poster today actually too. I won a Charlie poster.
Oh yay!
Nice.
So I
got a Charlie shirt.
And to celebrate it, I will do the sorry Charlie gif. Here we go, sorry. Sorry Charlie, but I won a shirt, so I was happy to walk away with it. I was the champ. So all right, enough Charlie. Let's get him off the screen.
There's never enough Charlie.
There's no. Well, there you go, Sultan. You're a troll too. Give me attention,
Sultan.
He's something else. So, but again, one cool thing that I love that you guys both do is the fact that you guys are still, even though people see you on LinkedIn and everything else, they're still able to go out and connect with you guys and have a real conversation with you. Where I've reached out to people and it's
oh man,
I have a VA or I have something, or just send.
It's underwhelming.
It's underwhelming. It takes your breath away all the time. And you're just like, oh my gosh, man, I just wanted to reach out and ask you about having a conversation. That's all. I mean,
yeah.
If I have to go through 20 loops fuck that. I'm passing on it. I'm
No,
going
I
to
agree.
the next
I
guest,
know.
because there's some people that think they get on the platform, they build this huge following, and then they think, I just don't have time for that.
Yeah. Nah, it's like people forget, they forget where they came from. And like I know, look, I remember when I had like 800 whatever. I started off with like 700 followers only because like I had an account since 2012. I went to like a master's program, so I had a lot of alumni connect and all that stuff all throughout the year. So I had like 700. Right? And I'm in New York City, right? So a lot of people in one area. But yeah, don't call Jonaed until after 11 a.m. Like that's very true. Like it got to be really important if you call me before
11 a.m.
that. And like people forget where they come from, and I've seen like some people who portray themselves, hey, our company is XYZ, we're so amazing that we're so in touch. And then you try to get them on podcasts, and it's like, yo, you got to get a Calendly with my VA. And then from there, it's like, it's like, come on, relax, bro. Relax. When everything is business, especially when you've supported someone and, it's when you're so far removed, it's like, yo, you not Bill Gates or something, right? You're just,
bro. I don't care. Even if you're at that point where it's so huge, there's some people there. I've had a billionaire on my show,
yeah.
right? And that was, and that he was probably one of the easier ones to connect with, because he was fucking humble. He was like, yeah, cool. I would love to come on. We were talking about systemic racism. He's like, yeah, I would love to get in there and talk about this subject.
Yeah.
It was not like had to pull through 20 strings to pull this, and then and it wasn't even one of those things where he's like, oh yeah, plus I have a 15-minute window. That's all I can give you.
Yeah.
Right. So when I feel those and I get those sort of people, I'm just like, you know what? I got to go on to the next one. Whenever
I've had some big guests, and they're just like, yo, let's schedule a time, and that's it. Boom. And we got on, and they give you your time, and I like that.
I mean, even the guy that the MMA guy that you had on, right?
Yeah, Demetrius Johnson. Look, I texted him. It's funny. I texted him, and I'll be like, "Happy Thanksgiving." He's like, "Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, brother." And I asked him for a testimonial. Answered me back in 13 minutes with a testimonial. Right, no back and forth. And it's interesting that it's like you have these big people, and you realize how they'll still take out a little time and be humble, and then it also humbles me. And
it does.
It's like that's who I want to keep being like, right? That's who I. Like these are people I look up to, and they're still human, right? So I think I respect people who still maintain that humanity.
Yeah, right. And that's the whole thing about it is, as long as you can keep that head on your shoulders about being who you are, not being over your reach, and be getting this great big head because there'll be a point if you keep continuing at the pace you're going, you'll have over 100,000 followers, and people will be very familiar with who you are and what you do. But I think I hope if I ever get to that point that I can stay as humble as possible.
You will, man. You will.
I that's the one thing that I fear so much is getting to a point where people do know me that at that kind of stage, and I don't want to be able to say, you know what, I don't care if you have 10 followers. If you're interested in wanting to learn how to do a live stream or podcasting, I would love to reach out and talk to you. I don't ever want to go away from that. Even as busy as things get, I would love to give somebody 5-10 minutes out of my day to say, hey, let's jump on a quick conversation and let's do that, because I don't want to be that guy. I've been turned off by so many of those people who are like that, where you're just like, I don't ever want to build this wall between who I am and getting in contact with people. And yeah, there's some things you got to do to protect yourself, but there are certain levels where you can actually reach out to somebody if they really want to get in contact with you. So yeah, if there's a live streamer who is out there now and love to reach out, I'm putting myself out there, guys. Reach out to me. I would love to come on your show. And as much as you think it's super cool what I do here, I'm just a regular guy. And I learned this last night. I kind of told Kelsey that I was intimidated to have her on. I'm going to pull back the curtain a little bit to have you both on, because I used to watch you guys. Like I said, when I first started out, I used to watch you guys. And I said, and there's been people like that were on a list for me who I said there's someday I would love to meet.
No, we're going to actually meet, not like live streaming. One day when things are all right, we're going to meet. You know, and
Right?
I'm gonna wear a picture with your hoodie and something, with your face on
Yeah,
the hoodie.
we're gonna
That's
have
how.
a biker party.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's what I want to do because there's a few people on that list that I would love to. I mean, you've met him before, but I would love to meet Adam. Adam is
Yeah. Posner.
Posner.
Yeah, he's not far from me.
I know. That's why I mean he told the
Yeah.
microphone story before how
Yeah.
you guys would meet
Yeah, I
up and
let
it
him
was
borrow
almost
my.
like a drug deal.
Yeah, yeah, because it was during COVID. He just like, yo, here's the microphones. It's good. I got my mask on, mask off, and all that stuff. But yeah, no, I mean, it. What you realize is that even though some people end up with that status, some other people they still maintain their rawness and their realness because that's who they are, right? They became who they are because they maintained that throughout their lives. Like one thing for me, and I'm big on that. Where it's like if someone asks me to be on a podcast or live show, I don't care. I don't ask them how many viewers. They could have like half a viewer. Like I'll still go on because I know how it is, man. I know how it was. It's like you know, I have some big guests. They don't ask me how many listeners I have, and I remember the person who I wanted on my first episode, you know, I asked her in person. I was like, hey, you know, I'd love to have you on my podcast. You don't have a degree? She said yes. And then when I messaged her, she was like, hey, did be cognizant of my time. You know, I asked that you have 10,000 downloads per episode or something like that. And I was like, when I spoke to you in person, like I said, this was my first episode. So obviously I didn't have no 10,000. And, you know, after that, it's just like, you know, things ended up working out, but I was like, yo, I really did not like that. And so I was like, look, I'm never going to do that. And same thing with my guests. My guests don't have to be, they just have to be cool.
Yeah. So have you ever had that though happen? Let me ask you that because you've done shows before. Have you ever had that where you've reached out to somebody, they turned you down, and then as you got bigger or people started recognizing you more, they would reach out to you and say, hey, would you still like to have me on
I
as
haven't
a
had
guest?
that. I haven't had that too much because I don't really reach out too much for my live show. I get referrals a lot. Only and look, you know, part of that is also because I don't go live that often. If I was going live like 2-3 times a week consistently, then I would say, oh, I need this. How I do lives right now is like, oh, Kelsey said we gotta do a live. What day do I have free? All right, I'm gonna go live on Monday. Oh, this person been asking me for a while. I like them. I gotta go live. So that's kind of where I'm at, right? When I have a more structured show, I'll probably reach out. But I have heard of people just being different, and you know, like for example, I guess Jonathan's not here, but Jonathan's cool. But you know, like I think someone mentioned this was a while ago in a comment thread. I never forget these things. I think someone mentioned on Shay's post, hey, you should get on this guy's podcast because she was talking about not having college degrees, and she gave the I'm kind of taking a break from podcasts and all that, blah blah blah. So after that, it's like, yo, it don't matter how big you get, how I can access you, like you're off, you're cut off. Like you gotta be like super celebrity famous for me to like do that. Where I have to be like, all right, Bill Gates said no, but that's because he's trying to fix the world and stuff. It's all right. I'll wait for you, Bill
got
Gates.
an agenda.
You know, I'll wait for you, Bill Gates. But you know, everybody else, unless you're like at a crazy level and stuff, it's like it don't matter. Like you're on my list of. Look, I'll still whatever. I respect the talent. I'll respect what you do, but it's just a personal thing.
No, and I totally get that because, like I said, I'm just asking because I've had that happen.
Really?
Right?
Wow.
Yeah, because when I started out, I was like kind of like what you asked the first person to come on your show. It was somebody who was sort of bigger a little bit on LinkedIn, and I don't want to say I'm just going to put the story, but I asked this person, and they were like, "Well, what have you done before? How often? And what are your numbers like? What is the things like?" And I was like, "Well, I'm not that big right now. I'm just starting out. I don't have these huge things." And then further down the line, as I started doing it more and I started getting more exposure and people coming along, one day out of the blue, I get a message and say, "Hey, would you still love to have me on your show?" And I was like, man, I was just like I know what you, at just that point I was like, you know what, I just kind of casually declined and said, hey, I have a full schedule of booking people already, so maybe in the future I might reach out to you. I don't want to be like a dick to
no, but it's not yo, it's
Sultan.
Yeah.
You just called it out, man.
So look, the thing is, it's also the other thing is it won't have the same energy, man. It really won't. Like you can't interview the person the same. If
You can't.
you can't, you're just gonna be like, yo, you decline me, and now I'm asking you questions and everything. It's like, I don't know, it's just not the same, man. Like Bill Gates, I'd have the same energy because I'd be like, yo, but anybody else, and it shows a level of realness about them.
There's some people you'll understand why you got to make the exception. So if the president of the United States says, "Look, I don't have time for you right now, Jonaed, but maybe in 4 years, I'll holler at you," right?
Yeah.
At that point, you say, "Okay, cool. I'll wait 4 years."
It's all good. You gotta prevent like
I'll
a
wait.
missile crisis or something. But
Yeah, I'll wait till you're done with that. We'll have a conversation then. But there's some people you can understand why. But again, like in this world of what we're doing with social media and that sort of thing, I hate those walls. I hate those
I agree.
when people put them up because they're unnecessary. It creates a stigma about somebody. I mean, I'd rather hear the story about.
Damn! Oh my God!
Sultan.
Sultan took it.
Somebody spray him with water. Spray him. Bad dog.
You're putting the comments up.
Hey,
I am.
the
That's
comment
right.
after that is like good morning. The comment after that is like a good morning. So it's like,
Oh yeah, there it is.
yeah. So no, but look, there's like no one on LinkedIn that I saw that's like legitimately so big that they're like, they're not like a real celebrity or anything like that. It's like, dude, just you can't make 30 minutes for something.
Exactly. I mean, that's all it is. It's just a small. And I would rather have somebody tell me like nicely say, "Hey, I'll have a conversation with you off camera, but I don't want to go live or I don't want to do shows."
Yeah.
I've
had someone to that. I respect that.
You do,
or
right?
If they say, I respect that. The other thing I respect is if they ask you, "Hey, what is your show about?" I want to make sure we're in alignment because some people, they have certain brands. Like, hey, I want to make sure. I respect that because I've been invited to like this podcast and it was like, let's just say it was a political character on a tank. That was the pod. That was his cover, and I was like, yo, that's not what I'm about, right? That's not where I can add value because I don't, stuff like that. It's like for me, it's so I've only had one show like that. Other than that, it's like, I'm all good.
Good. I love that. That's cool. That's cool that we go through it. So let me get to the point, guys. This is the question. If you watched the show before, I've asked everybody this question. I think you answered this last time when we were on the round table. So I'm going to skip you, Jonaed, because you had this answer. You're good. I got your answer, but I'm going to ask Miss Kelsey Lips down there. So here we go. If you've ever watched the show, guys know the question. When the book is said and done on Kelsey Lips, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind, and what do you want to be remembered for?
Well, I mean, I think that's probably going to be just for supporting artists and really being there for my friends as much as I can in every way that I can. I think I would just want to be remembered for just being a supportive and loving person. I think that is okay for me. Yeah,
and even there it is. That's Travis answering, saying the hardest damn question on the spot. Yeah, it's a very hard question, but it's just a question about perspective.
Travis already got the answer. He wants to be remembered for his room. That's what he wants to be remembered for.
Travis that, and what was his answer? I didn't get to catch the last of that show.
Oh, so you didn't get to see it. Here, as a matter of fact, I'm glad you said that. Here it is. This is his answer from earlier this week's live show. Here he goes.
So,
well, if you'll load up.
So, when the book is said and done on Travis Latchner, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind, and what do you want to be remembered for? Ooh, Raquel question too.
I love how it goes from casual hangout to like, what should be written on your tombstone? Like, I love it. No, I genuinely do.
I did, Tiffany.
I mean, this is something I've in my life, in my experience, in my story. I have broken and dismantled and repaired my dreams so many times in different ways. I used to think I was going to be a pro hockey player. We rode that to the end of the line in college hockey. Gave music a really genuine try. I'm super grateful for it. Was able to work with brilliant artists, be able to do remix productions for people like Halsey and Linkin Park and the Hives and so many brilliant things, but it wasn't enough to make it. So those dreams died as well. Then eventually thought I was starting a family. Was working at a nonprofit, got a 9-to-5. Was like, all right, now I got it figured out. Bought the ring. Thought I was getting engaged and going that route. And that didn't happen either, for a slew of a whole nother reasons. So what my legacy really has become is being the guy that can help other people's dreams come true. That's where I found my sweet spot, and I'm rolling with it.
Hey, man, I love that.
So
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yo, how'd you have that ready? That I really have that question. This guy had the exact clip ready, like he knew. We did not plan that. Nothing.
Well,
yeah, how'd you know I was going to ask that, dude?
well, here's the thing, right? Anytime that I get a piece of audio where I think at any one point I might be able to use, I'll cut it, clip it, and I'll keep it saved in my StreamYard. So it's pretty simple. Once I have it there, if at any one point I find it and I go, oh, this is going to be relative to what we're talking about, it seems like, wow, it's right here on the deck. Boom, just hit it and play it. And we go from there. Even what was even better that you guys missed out was the dance afterwards, right?
Oh man.
So here it goes.
See the gifts made. Yeah, let's see that.
Here's the dance, guys.
Make this about Jonaed, Kelsey, and Travis today.
Now you can close the show because I can't hear once I put that thing on. So thank you guys so much. I owe it to you. I'm just gonna throw it on for a little, and then Gabe, you can end the show, brother.
All right, we got it. So here we are, guys. This is live. We're seeing some live Stormtrooper action. Guys, if you're watching, you need to be clipping this. This needs to be. The dog is there. Yes. Total success. So thank you guys for watching. You guys got to see one hell of a show. We owe you, everybody who's been a part of this one. Thank you guys so much. We will be back here tomorrow evening, 7:30 Central Standard Time.
There you go.
Yo, I got a quick question for Travis because I know he's watching. Is that a Psyduck in his background, like that little toy in his background? Is that a Psyduck on the top shelf? I need to know.
Oh,
he
is watching. So Travis, drop it down in the comments.
Yes, I was like, yo, that's a Psyduck. Okay. Daddy, okay. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, good eye. Look, you had a good eye. You saw it in the corner. I said, wow, I never even noticed it. So
yeah, I bought some Pokemon cards, so I'm excited.
Sure did.
So, guys, I just want to thank you both for coming on the show. Thank you so much. I know, Jonaed, you're a busy man. You're actually got client work after the show. So,
yeah,
heads up, man. That's staying on your grind, brother. I love that.
Look, next time, I'll give you my calendar. Nah, I'm just joking. As long as you don't do a live, as long as you don't do a live at before 11 a.m., I'm good to go. That's my only hoop. Before 11 a.m. is yo, come on, man. But I do it for you.
Oh, appreciate that. Look at that. But you know what? I'm like you. Fuck 11 a.m.
Yeah, fuck 11 a.m.
I'm not doing a live.
Yeah. And Travis, we gotta get on a call. We're just gonna talk about Pokemon.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And of course,
you can go ahead and count me out of that call.
You can.
I'm good.
Well, I would love to get on a call. When you guys talk about Pokemon, I would love to get on a call with Kelsey and we can talk about art.
There we go.
There's so much more into art that's so much interesting. So that would stimulate
the
my
artwork
mind.
on the new Pokemon cards is really nice, dude. Serious art.
Well, of
So-
course, yeah. You gotta have.
Okay,
talent.
yeah. Am I going to be able to switch that? Switch
You can
that
always
conversation.
switch. You can always switch.
Oh yeah.
I talk about the artwork of the cards. That's why, like, I'm a kid, so that respects art.
There you go, guys. So hybrid conversation, yes. So thank you, Jonaed. Thank you, Kelsey. Both of you wonderful people for coming on there. And of course, everybody who's been a part of this one, guys, you rocked it. You guys are the lifeblood of what we do here, and I appreciate you every single night. So, guys, we will be back here Monday evening, 7:30 Central Standard Time. I hope you guys have a very great weekend. Stay safe, stay blessed, and we'll get to this together, guys. Good night, everybody.